It's day 90. This gamer hasn't seen a Need for Speed update in way too long. He doesn't even know if he's gonna see a Need for Speed update before World War III. And before we knew it, it was too late. That is a visual representation of what it feels like to be a fan of Need for Speed. What is up, guys? Welcome to another video, and today we're going to go ahead and talk about Need for Speed Heat live service. Now, before we go ahead and actually get into the video, I do quickly want to say Undefeated Racing League is happening this Friday on my Twitch. Look in the description for more details. If you're on Xbox, all the details are going to be down there. So I will see you guys on Friday. But in today's video, we're going to go ahead and talk about live service. So Need for Speed Heat, believe it or not, is actually a live service game. People seem to be really confused to whether Need for Speed Heat is live service or what the hell they're doing with it, because, well, they haven't actually told us. But yeah, like, this isn't a clickbait thing. Like, it actually is live service, which I shall prove now with this clip.
Especially in the last game, other than speed cars and upgrading your cars, there wasn't really much for long-lasting players. Can you talk a bit about endgame or like live service in that way, in terms of what's going to keep hardcore players coming back?
So we definitely will have like a live engagement stuff going on after launch, but we'll talk more about that as we get closer and finalize some of those plans.
The full video will be down in the description or in a card or somewhere to watch after this one. Please watch it after this one, because otherwise YouTube will kill my video. This was all the way back at Gamescom. They hadn't finalized things yet, so I'm assuming before launch they must have knew what they were doing. I'm gonna have a PvP video up later on this week at some point describing what I want to see in PvP, but right now we're gonna talk about this as a live service game. The game came out in late October on EA Access, so what's that? Almost 4 months now. We're approaching 4 months since this game's come out, and Season 1 has not started. This does not make any sense to me. Now, I'm gonna sing this game's praises where it is deserved. I've made videos about this game, you know, saying what I like about it, saying, like I said, I think the race physics are fantastic. I think they're the best that a Ghost have ever made. I think the story is also up there with the best Ghost have ever made. Not really that hard, because it was either this or Zephyr. But you get my point. There is redeeming qualities to Need for Speed Heat. It's definitely a serviceable Need for Speed game. But game of the generation, most certainly not. Need for Speed game of the decade, yes, it's definitely not that either, in my humblest of opinions. And I just want to talk live service. This is kind of a little bit of a Ghost. People, if you're watching this, please listen. Please tell someone, because this isn't good. But the live service in this game, someone has to call Ghost out on their bullshit, because otherwise they're just going to keep on getting away with it. Everything is not okay right now, Ghost. It kind of reminds me, you know that one meme with the dog sitting in the house and everything's on fire? That is the current state of Need for Speed Heat. 4 months and Season 1 hasn't started. It all comes back to this thing of communication, but it also kind of goes one step further. I'm going to give you a wild kind of hot take here. This is a very wild hot take that I'm going to give you right here about the current state of Need for Speed and where I think the studio is at. I think there's a huge problem with the studio currently. I think there's conflicts of interest between what Need for Speed is as a vision from the developers and what the execution of it is. I think in their heads they want Need for Speed to be cool, hip, trendy, illegal, street racing, you know, fuck the man and all that. And if you're aiming for that demographic, that is literally me. I go out on my weekends, you know, I go for a little bit of a party, I drive cars, you know, sometimes I do it recklessly. Allegedly. Like, if there's anyone that they're trying to direct the series towards, I like streetwear, I like drum and bass, I like rap, I like all the types of things that they're trying to direct to a person, that should be me. But they aren't doing it. Oh, you like rap? Let's put Cardi B in the soundtrack. Oh my god. That's my point of what I'm trying to say here. Like, there's a huge disconnect between what Need for Speed wants to be and what it is. It's not cool, hip, and trendy. It's kind of like what an old person thinks is trendy right now. It was in 2019, going on 2020. The car list is confused. FXXKs and P1 GTRs are in there over RX-8s and S14s. If you're going for illegal street racing car culture, why are you not, you know, celebrating car culture? Kind of almost like people who make the game aren't really into cars. You flip that on its head and look at the guys over at Playground. Well, if you look at the 100 cars they just leaked, or supposedly leaked, half of those cars you wouldn't appreciate unless you were a car person. Why do I not get that same vibe from Need for Speed Heat? Why does this game have less modes than Payback and 2015? The removal of drag, toge runs, etc., etc., Gymkhana, like a solo drift. There's none of that. I can't even go into drift mode with friends. Not to mention the lack of PvP, and all of this for what? For better race physics, but then worse off-road physics and drift physics is just weird. A lack of direction, most certainly. A confused studio, it has to be. I can't be the only one with this opinion. Now, a serviceable game can be fantastic. I want to just say that as well. The Crew 1, when it first came out, was a serviceable game, which with support became a fucking fantastic one. The Crew 1, when it came out, it wasn't a golden child. It wasn't all, it wasn't, you know, the Crew 1 we know today. It had problems. The physics weren't great, you know, but with live service and with constant updates, the game became something truly special. Need for Speed Heat is like the Crew 1 if it didn't get any updates, in my opinion. We're now 4 months into this life cycle, so we're approaching half of what this game is probably intended to live. It's probably going to be a year, maybe 2 years, depending on how long they support it with. But the point is, like, we're 4 months now and nothing's happened. Ghost, this is not okay. Please wake up. Need for Speed is still, it has a huge identity crisis. And I'm going to talk about Need for Speed 2015 again, because honestly, in terms of atmosphere, it has the best atmosphere of any racing game I've played last generation. I feel like Need for Speed Heat is closer to Need for Speed Payback than it is to Need for Speed 2015. Need for Speed 2015 car culture was celebrated. The game felt underground, and I'm not talking Underground 3, I'm talking illegal street racing and underground in that sense of the word. The customization and the car list, you know, selection was fucking perfect. The soundtrack, you know, Night Riders to this day is one of the best songs that, you know, theme songs for Need for Speed there ever has been, and I still listen to it from occasion. Where did that go in the last 4 years, Ghost? How have we gone from that to... I said right now! There's things this game does right, and I don't want this just to be looked at as me moaning for the sake of moaning, because it really isn't. I want Need for Speed to get back to where it is. Need for Speed Heat's done things fantastic, but it's serviceable, not the best game that has ever come out in this franchise, and there's no reason why that can't be a thing. If I'm sat behind my desk thinking of ideas to make this series great, and, you know, I've clearly got a vision of what I like Need for Speed to be, why can't the Ghost team, you know, collectively have the same ambition? It feels like something's getting lost, and live service needs to fix that. Like, Need for Speed Heat, it's a good Ghost game, but, like, I can't be the only one. I feel like I'm getting tired now with the series. Every single year, going up to the game's launch, I go to Gamescom, I play the Gamescom demo, it's promising, you know, everyone speculates about how this, and this. The game comes out, nighttime has no meaning. Clipping issues still arise. The RSR's OP for 4 years. No leaderboards at launch. Corner cutting. No PvP. You can see where I'm going with this. There's always a catch, and for me as a content creator, I don't play this game in my own time, and that's a problem. The reason why I don't play this game in my own time is, by the way, so that I don't get burnt out on it for videos. I can just about bear it for videos. I don't mind playing it for videos. But in my own time, if I touch this game, I'm going to get burnt out on it, and I'm not going to want to play it exactly like I did with Payback. May I remind you guys that I didn't play Payback because I didn't like it, and I'm a Need for Speed content creator. Please raise your voice if there is a problem at the community manager, at Need for Speed. Let them know that there's something wrong, because I can't be the only one that feels like this. I see so many content creators saying that this game is okay, and you know, and babying Ghost for things that they're just not on. I'm genuinely frustrated about this, because there's no reason why Ghost, after so long, can't do this correctly. I'm still going to continue to make videos. You know, like I said, I make my own fun in this game, which is that's an inherent problem, that I have to make my own fun, you know, through the Gary series, etc. Through Undefeated Racing League. I'm doing that because there's no PvP in the game. But my point is, I'm going to continue to make videos on this game. When people say things like Most Wanted 2005 is the best in the series, you know, and it's clouded by nostalgia, I genuinely don't think it is. Even Most Wanted 2005 had player versus player. And we don't have that in modern day. Most Wanted 2005 had more fucking modes. Lap knockout, speed trap, you know, like, where have all these gone? All of the milestones for pursuits, where's all that gone? Like, there's such a lack of content compared to over 10 years ago now. What is going on? I just needed to let this off my chest today, because I actually sat down to do a PvP video, and I'm going to still do that video at some point later on in the week, but it just put things in perspective. I was sitting there thinking, things aren't okay. I don't know whether I'm just sounding like I'm a really annoyed fanboy right now, but these are all problems I just genuinely, I don't get it. I genuinely don't get it. So please, if you agree with me, tweet this to Need for Speed, tweet this to Ghost, and let them know that there is a problem. That's Cam over and out. You won't hear another rant out of me until update 1. That update 1, if it's not fucking fire, 4 months worth of development time, probably longer than that. It's probably given half a month for all we know, because they probably were working on that before the game even launched. So if that ain't pure fire, if you're charging us for cars, if you're doing some absolute bullshit, then I'll do a rant. But up until then, I'm not going to release any more rants. That's all I have to say on this. That's the current state of Need for Speed. It's a dumpster fire at the moment. It needs to get sorted. I hope I didn't come across as too passive-aggressive, but the reason why is I'm passionate about the series, and I don't want this to be a thing where I keep moaning and moaning, because I've moaned now for 4 years. 4 years I've been doing this shit, and it's tiring. One of the ways we got change as a community was with Craig Up in 2015 with Need for Speed 2015. That's the last time we saw great change with the Need for Speed franchise. I haven't got a name for a movement, but please to God, let's have something similar, because right now, Need for Speed is in a shamble. Cameron, over and out. That's all I have to say. Let them know what it is. I'm done here. I'm done ranting until, you know, whenever this update comes out. I'll see you guys in the next one. You guys have been awesome. Stay safe, and peace.